Hello students, welcome to AriserTalent. As you know, we are studying very important chapter, that is control and coordination, in which in my previous lecture I told you about the human nervous system, in which I taught you central nervous system and its two parts, brain and spinal cord. In this lecture we are going to talk about peripheral nervous system. So let's start. Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. As I told you in the previous lecture that peripheral nervous system has two parts. What are they? Nerves and autonomic nervous system. Okay, so if we talk about nerves, then there are three types of nerves in peripheral nervous system. What are they? Cranial nerves, spinal nerves, and visceral nerves. Visceral nerves. Next, if we talk about autonomic nervous system, then it has two parts. What are they? Sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, now let's talk about nerves. First of all, we will talk about cranial nerves. Number one is cranial nerve. Okay, so these type of nerves arise from the brain. They arrive from the brain. These nerves arise from the brain. Okay, they arise from the brain, as the name itself defines cranial, because they are related to cranium. Okay, so these nerves arise from the brain and spread throughout the head and spread to various parts of the head. Okay, fine. Generally there are 11 pairs, okay, of these nerves which are found in the mammals. They are 12 pairs in number. Okay, generally what kind of nerves are they? They are sensory nerves, they may be motor nerves, and they may be mixed nerve. They may be sensory nerves, motor nerves, or mixed nerves. Okay, as they are related to brain, so definitely they may be sensory nerves, they may be motor nerves, or they may be mixed nerves. Now next we will talk about spinal nerves. Next is spinal nerves. As the name itself explain that the nerves which arise from the spinal cord. So here I should mention these nerves arise from what? Spinal cord. These nerves arise from spinal cord and spread to various parts of the body. Or if I say these nerves spreads to different or throughout the body, so it's also correct. Okay, so spinal nerves, they may be motor nerves or they may be mixed nerves. Sorry, they may be motor nerves or they may be sensory nerves. They may be sensory nerves or motor nerves. Okay, and generally there are 31 pairs of these nerves. There are 31 pairs of these nerves present in human only. Okay, now next we will talk about visceral nerves. Third one is visceral nerves. Third one is visceral nerves. Okay, so I must say some of these nerves, sorry, I wrote nerves. Okay, some of these nerves arise from the brain and some of these arise from the spinal cord. So I must say most of the nerves arise from the spinal cord and some of them arise from the brain. Most of these nerves arise from spinal cord and some arise from brain. Okay, generally as the name defines that it controls visceral activities of internal organs, or I may say these control the internal activities, or these control the activities of internal organs like heart, lungs and kidney. These nerves are related to activities of these nerves are related to activities of internal organ like heart, brain, lungs, heart, kidney, lungs, heart, kidney, lungs, etc. Okay, so here we studied about the different types of nerves. What are they? One is cranial nerves, another is spinal cord, and third one is visceral nerves. Cranial nerves means these nerves, as the name itself defines, these nerves starts from they arise from the brain. Okay, and generally they are 12 pairs in numbers and they may be sensory nerves, motor nerves or mixed nerves. Okay, now next is spinal nerves. These nerves generally arise from the spinal cord and they are spread throughout the body. Okay, they may be sensory nerves or motor nerves. Why they may be sensory nerves and motor nerves? Because sensory nerves will bring the impulses from the sense organs. Okay, and the motor nerves, what is the function of motor nerves? These motor nerves take the masses or take the impulses from the central nervous system, means from the part of the central nervous system, that is spinal cord, and then they pass it to the effector. Okay, so we must say that these spinal nerves may be of two types. One is sensory nerve and another may be motor nerves. Okay, and generally there are 31 pairs of these these number which are present in the human only. Okay, last one is visceral nerves. Generally these nerves arise from, most of these nerves arise from the spinal cord and some of them arise from the brain. Okay, generally these nerves are related to the activities of internal organs of the body. What are they? Like heart, kidney and lungs. So here we studied about what? We studied about the different types of nerves of the peripheral nervous system. Now we will talk about the autonomic system. As the name itself defines, autonomic nervous system means which functions automatically. It is not in the control. It is involuntary. Okay. Next we will talk about autonomic nervous system. Next is autonomic nervous system. Autonomic, as the name itself defines, means this nervous system is related to the activities or is related to the control of the activities which are involuntary. Okay, so I must say this nervous system, this autonomic nervous system is the part of peripheral nervous system which controls the activity which are involuntary and are not in the control under the animal. Okay, which are involuntary and are not in the control of the animal. Okay, generally it is of two type, sympathetic and it is of two type, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Parasympathetic. Okay, sympathetic autonomic nervous system. So here sympathetic, generally these are related to the visceral reactions. These nerves, they are related to visceral reactions. Okay, generally they are related to visceral activities or visceral organs or visceral reactions, and they control, or I must say they increase the protection during the adverse condition of atmosphere. They increase the protection, they increase the protection of the body during increase the protection of the body during adverse atmospheric, or I must write here the adverse body during adverse atmospheric condition. Adverse atmospheric condition. Atmospheric conditions. Okay. Clear? Now next is parasympathetic. So what are parasympathetic? Let me mention. These are related to the reactions in which energy is conserved. Okay, and generally they control the visceral reactions, or they are generally present, or they control the as I told you that they control the visceral reactions, and they are generally present both the side of the visceral reactions. Okay, they controls the activities of both the sides of visceral reactions. Okay, so this is all about the autonomic nervous system, in which I told you that this is of two types, sympathetic and parasympathetic. Before that, I must say these are the activities which are not in the control of human. So these are the automatic nervous system is a part of that peripheral nervous system which controls. Here, as we are talking about the control and coordination, so here the control and coordination is done by autonomic nervous system. And of what activities? Of involuntary activities which are not in the control of animal, but those activities can be controlled by the autonomic nervous system, and they are of two types, sympathetic and parasympathetic. So here sympathetic is related to visceral reactions, okay, and they increase the protection of the body in the adverse atmospheric condition. Parasympathetic, it is related to reaction which in which energy is conserved. So this is all about the human nervous system. Hope everything is clear to you. Thank you.